today we're going to discuss the K-12 and the grading system. Do you know, starting 2012-2013, the education system of the Philippines was enhanced from 10 years of basic education to a 12-year program called the K-12 Education Program. The K-12 Basic Education Curriculum Program incorporates curriculum enhancement, early childhood education, and specialized upper secondary education. In school year 2015-2016, the Department of Education followed a new competency-based grading system for K-12. Conferred to the formal knowledge, process, understanding, and performance, the latest will use the fewer grading system components and a new transmutation table. Although private schools are not required to implement the same guidelines, the Department of Education strongly urged them to follow the policies as well. According to the Teacher PH, the K-12 program uses a standard and competency-based grading system. All the grades will be based on the weighted roll scores of the learner's summative assessment. Written works assess learners' understanding of concepts and applications of skills. Performance tasks involve students in the learning process. Quarterly assessments synthesize all the learning skills, concepts, and values learned in the entire quarter. Table 4, weight of the components for grades 1 to 10. Table 5, weight of the components for senior high school. Note that the minimum grade to pass a specific learning area is 60, which transmuted to 75 in the report card. Table 10, scriptors, grading scale, and marks.
I am going to discuss what are written works and how to compute it. We have to make sure that the students can express and contents in written forms. The written works are the quizzes, unit or long tests, assignments, article, reviews, journal, reflection or reaction paper, news writing, and other form of writing that has a relation to written works. They have different percentage weight that vary according to the nature of gardening area. Like written works in language, AP, ESP, they have 30%. Science and mathematics have 40%. MAPE, EPP, and TLE have 30%. Let's try to compute it. We have to get the total score for each component. Example, in essay, De La Cruz gets 82 out of 100. In long quiz, he got 36 over 50. And in unit test or long test, he got 78 out of 100. So the total raw score of De La Cruz is 196 points out of 250 points to the total score of the written works. Second step is we have to divide the total raw score, which is the 196 points. 196 points divided by 250 points is equal to 0.784. The highest possible score, which is 250 points, then we have to multiply the quotient by 100 to get the percentage of it. After getting the percentage of 78.4% out of 100%, we have to multiply it to the percentage of written works, which is the 30%, to get the weighted score. 78.4 multiplied by 30 is equal to 23.52%. So the weighted score of De La Cruz is 23.52% over 30%. So that's how to compute written works.
video, we will discuss on how to compute the grades in performance tasks. So number 1, get the total score for each component. For example, the performance task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the learner's raw score are 12, 13, 19, 15, 16, and 25. So the highest possible score are 15, 15, 25, 20, 20, and 25. Get the total score for each, and the result is 100 and 120. So 100 for learner's raw score and 120 for the highest possible score. After that, divide the total raw score, then multiply the quotient by 100%. For example, 100 divided by 120 times 100. After that, convert percentage to score to the weighted score. Multiply the percentage score by the weight of the components. Add the weighted score of each component, and the result will be in the initial grade. So lastly, transmute the initial grade using the transmutation table.
Good day. Let's talk about quarterly assessment and how it is being computed. According to teacherpage.com, quarterly assessment measures student learning at the end of the quarter. There may be in form of objective tests, performance-based assessment, or a combination thereof. In 3 components of summative assessment, quarterly assessment is equivalent to 20%. So now, let's jump on how quarterly assessment is being computed. So now, let's have this formula. Periodical test score over periodical test number of item is equals to periodical test grade. The periodical test grade is multiplied by 20% or 0.20, and its product is the quarterly assessment grade. Let's have this example. Win Metawin gained a score of 50 over 60 in his Filipino periodical test. 50 over 60 is equals to 83.33 or 83.33%. The 83.33 will be multiplied by 20% or 0.20, which is equals to 16.67. So now, 16.67 Win Metawin's quarterly assessment grade.
Teachers may input the name of learners, row scores, and highest possible scores for written work and performance tasks. Meanwhile, the template will compute the percentage scores, weighted score, and transmitted grade. Based on the weights and transmutation table provided in the above-mentioned DepEd memorandum, so now we're going to transmute all of the grades that have been computed. First, we are going to add all of the weighted scores of each component. Written works 23.52, performance task 41.65, and the quarterly assessment is 16.67%. The result will be the initial grade, so the initial grade of the components is 81.84%. After this, we are now going to look at the transmutation table for grade to 12 grading system. So here, we can see the transmuted grade of initial grade is 81.84, is equivalent to 88.
How to compute grades at the end of the school year? To get the general average, divide the sum of the final grades of all learning areas in the total number of learning areas in grade level. Example, the sum of the final grade of the student in all learning areas is 691. Then, the last step you have to do is to divide it in 8. Because the total number of learning areas in the grade level of the student is 8, then you will get the average of 86. That's how you compute grades in the end of the school year. Do you know what is learners' retention and promotion? So now, let's know about this. Learners' retention, it is a process by which the new information is transferred from short-term to long-term memory. In other words, it's all about making new knowledge stack. Learners' promotion, it is to promoting the students to the next grade level, even when they have not learned the material they were taught or achieved expected learning standards. This is the way how you will promote the students in the next grade level. But how is that possible? Learners' promotion and retention. Here are some examples of the learners' promotion and retention for grades 1 to 3. Grades 4 to 10 and grades 11 to 12. Here, they need to pass all learning areas in the junior high school to earn a junior high school certificate and to be promoted to senior high school. How are learners promoted or retained at the end of the school year? The student must at least meet the final grades of 75% or higher in all learning areas to be promoted in the next grade level. If not, they will need to attend a remedial class for them to be promoted.
In this video, we will going to talk about the recomputed final grade or the RFG. It can get the final grade of the student through remedial class mark. For example, the final grade of the student is 73. Then the remedial class mark is 85. So we have to add these two. So the final grade is 73 and the remedial class mark is 85. So 73 plus 85. So we have to divide by 2. The total will be 79. And that's how you compute the recomputed final grade or the RFG. The teacher of the remedial class need to issue certificate of recomputed final grade, which is noted by the school principal. Revision office that must be attached to both Form 137 and School Form number 5. And that's how you compute the recomputed final grade or the RFG. And that's all.